The work of the police has never been under more scrutiny, with videos being shared online and questions asked about the use of force. 125 police officers are assaulted every single day, making their job even more difficult.
I do worry sometimes that our officers may not have the confidence to intervene and use their powers that I would expect in order to keep themselves safe, but also the public as well.
We've been given behind-the-scenes access by Thames Valley Police to the training that they're giving their officers to make sure they have all of the right tools. Last year's police uplift programme saw around 20,000 officers being recruited in a very short space of time, and because of that, around 40% of the frontline now has only been there for less than 5 years. And with all of that inexperience and a lack of confidence, all forces have had to change how they teach them. This is a fake house that they've built up for scenario-based training with officers. There are fake sofas, fake bottles which are used as weapons, and knives as well. And this is where they put officers through a scenario which is very similar to what they'll see out in the real job. But they keep them on their toes as well. They switch it up as they go. There are patients who are having mental health episodes. There are people who are threatening those officers with knives. And they have to make split-second decisions. This is where they go through, the options available to them. And they asked us journalists to have a go as well. And it was more difficult than it looked.
So, pause.
In this scenario, we were shown a distressed man who was sitting with a knife. 2 officers were sent to the scene, and we have been asked to decide what they do next.
What are we thinking now?
This is difficult because I feel like if you brought more officers in at this point, he could harm himself. That could be the point that sends him over, but you've got to be safe as well. I think I'd definitely be asking for backup to prepare themselves.
Backup is very vague. Would you like helicopters? Divers? Rose police? Mounted? So there are a lot of officers. So which type of officer would you like?
The point of this is to understand the range of options available to them and the consequences that each one might have. And the trainers, I have to say, are quick to point out the potential flaws.
So, pause there guys, release him there for me. So we've seen a little bit of a spike in his behaviour or an escalation. Why do you think that's happened?
Rushed him?
Yeah, because rushed him. So do we need to rush him at this point in time?
No.
What could we do then?
Just hold back and contain him all.
Yeah, good hold back. When might we then actually need to go hands-on?
Starts hurting himself or others.
Perfect, not hurt himself or others. Good.
Some of the more experienced officers, like PC Nikki Pearce and her team, use their skills to teach new recruits, and they showed us all of the kit that they use, including their police batons,
Get back!
their vests, and pepper spray. But with so much scrutiny coming from the public, social media and the police watchdog, there have also been concerns raised that some officers are too worried to use force, even when it's needed most. So when you see, some of those misconduct cases where actually officers are charged with assault for using this, is that more to do with the context rather than them being so close to them?
Potentially, yes.
Yeah,
I couldn't say because each case would be completely different and
yeah.
there's probably other factors involved. But yeah, it's a guidance distance, so it's not definitive. It cannot be used less than 3 feet. It is guidance. And if an officer uses it less than 3 feet, they've really got to justify why.
The number of assaults on police officers is at a record high, showing how little time they have to decide what to do. The use of force, it's all about context, isn't it? I mean, when you're a serving officer as well, when you're out there, and something's happening, how quickly do you need to decide what you're going to do?
We're talking split seconds, and those split seconds can mean the difference between someone, be it a member of the public, myself or my colleague, getting assaulted.
Thames Valley's Chief Constable Jason Hogg says his force needs to be in the best place possible to keep the peace.
I think there is that pushback against authority a little bit in our society, and people are prepared to challenge more than ever before and certainly be more litigious than ever before. In that context, I do worry sometimes that our officers may not have the confidence to intervene and use their powers that I would expect in order to keep themselves safe, but also the public as well.
A number of police chiefs had quietly raised their eyebrows at the last government's mass recruitment drive and the deadline that was set to achieve it, leaving their ranks without experience. And now, as Labour plans to bring in 13,000 new neighbourhood officers, some are warning them not to make the same mistake. Well, that's it. Our day's finished. I have been handcuffed, we've tried pepper spray, and we've watched real police officers making split-second decisions in the training that they do here. But honestly, with such a young workforce now, so many police officers were brought in all at once in the Uplift programme, and the inexperience that means that many of them have. Couple that with phones filming absolutely everything that they do day to day. Is it any surprise that some of them may not have the confidence that they need to use force when they have to in order to do their jobs?